Hi, my name is Ahmed, and I have a couple questions for you. Do you feel stuck at your current level of English but want to improve? Do you find it hard to understand native speakers when they speak? Or do you find it hard to speak your mind? I want to give you some advice to help you improve. It's very simple advice that's very easy to follow. I remember when I was studying teaching English, and one of the other classmates in my class had amazing English. English wasn't her first language. She wasn't a native speaker of English, but she spoke almost like an American. And we were having a conversation after a grammar lesson, and she told me, I really hate studying grammar. I find it very boring, and I just don't like it. And I was confused. How could someone who hates studying grammar speak language so well? And so I asked her, how did you become good at English? And she said, I watched a lot of TV and I read a lot of books. And that's when I knew that I was wrong about language learning. So many teachers focus way too much on grammar and don't give students enough time to listen and speak the language. My classmate studied English outside of class by reading and listening, and she became an amazing English speaker. Sure, grammar is useful when you get to an advanced level, but most of our time should be spent immersed around the language, not talking about the language. So what's the first piece of advice? Listen and read as much natural English as you can. Try to do this for at least an hour, but a few hours a day is better. You could watch movies, TV shows, YouTube videos, listen to radio shows or podcasts. You could read books or blogs. The important thing to remember is that you're not going to understand 100% of whatever you're listening to or reading. But that's not so important. The important thing is that you are focused, that you enjoy what you're watching or listening to, and that you understand the general idea of what's happening. You don't have to understand everything. And slowly, through time, you will acquire vocabulary and hear correct pronunciation. And this way, your language skills will improve. Your listening will improve, your reading speed will improve, and you'll feel more comfortable with the language. So that covers listening and reading, but what about speaking and writing? Now, this may seem strange, but just by listening and reading, your speaking and writing will improve. You'll learn vocabulary through listening and reading, and you'll learn correct pronunciation through listening. And so through listening and reading, your skills in speaking and writing will become better. But to achieve a high level in speaking and writing, you have to practice. To get good at anything, you have to practice. And so you have to speak a lot and you have to write a lot. So my advice to you is if you don't live in a place where there are lots of English speakers, you can use applications like Tandem or HelloTalk. On these applications, you do something called a language exchange. That means that you speak English for some time and you speak another language for some time. So if you speak Spanish, but you want to learn English, you find someone who wants to learn Spanish, you speak Spanish together, and then you switch and you speak English together. This is a good way to make friends and to find someone that you can talk to in the language you're studying. Something else you can do is find a tutor, like me. Find someone to have a conversation with you, and as you have the conversation, the tutor takes notes. You have a trouble with these words, you don't pronounce this correctly, and after the conversation, the tutor will send you this information so you can review it later. But when you meet with a tutor, the main goal is to have a conversation, relaxed, not worried too much about grammar or pronunciation, just practicing speaking. In terms of writing, something you could do is use Facebook or Twitter and post and interact with people in English. There are lots of people speaking English online, and they can definitely interact with you to give you practice. Something you could do for yourself is to keep a daily journal. In this journal, you could write about anything you want. You don't have to worry about grammar or spelling. You're just trying to write as much as you can. But just by practicing writing, you'll see improvements in your writing. Just as in practicing speaking, you'll see improvements in your speaking. So I hope this advice was useful to you. If you have any questions or would like any suggestions for TV shows, videos, books, feel free to comment down below and subscribe for more information and advice. Thank you.